All right, everyone. So we're gonna do a quick trade deadline recap um, with Chinggis Khan and Aditya Sriwatch. How are you two doing?
Good, how are you?
I've
Not too
been
bad.
doing pretty well. All right, so first things first, the defending world champions, the Red Sox, made a bunch of moves today, and one of them was actually with the St. Louis Cardinals, who they played in the World Series. Here, the Cardinals got John Lackey and Corey Littrell and cash, all for Joe Kelly and Alan Craig. What do you guys think of this move?
Chinggis, do you want to go first, or?
You go ahead if you say you're hearing this for the first time, right?
Yeah, I was at school this whole day, and I was totally oblivious to most of what was happening in the trade deadline going on. It's a pretty interesting move, I think. Obviously, I didn't have time to recap my thoughts and think of the whole thing, but when I'm hearing about it first, Joe Kelly is a good piece, and I think if he can improve his command, he can be a decent fourth or fifth starter for the Red Sox. The Red Sox also needed some outfield help, and I think they're getting that in the form of Alan Craig. Craig's not having the greatest season so far, and Matt Adams has taken up the first base spot in St. Louis. So I think it makes sense for both teams. John Lackey has somehow become so good. I mean, we were talking about this in one of our podcasts from, how Lackey trend was kind of like the key piece for the Red Sox during the World Series, which I don't think I would have ever said that, 2 or 3 years ago, considering how bad he was.
That's true.
Yeah, Chengiz, you kind of like Al. I mean, I know you're an Alan Craig fan. Do you think it's a good move for him going back to, or not going back, but going to Red Sox?
Definitely. I mean, Busch Stadium was pretty much a pitcher's park, right? And you go into Fenway, and you have that green monster, and he's a pull hitter. So
Right.
he's just spray balls all over that monster. I think that works out for him.
Yeah. I think it's a good deal for both sides. I feel like the Cardinals knew that they needed some pitching help, especially since Waka went to the DL. I know he's going to come back soon, but still they needed some pieces in the back end of the rotation. Wainwright's obviously going to carry their.
Miller's getting lit up, too.
Exactly, yeah. Shelby Miller was good last year, and people expected some regression. Hopefully, it's not going to be so bad that his value's going to dip. I still think he has good stuff. And I think he can be a good piece for that rotation too. But I think the Cardinals
But they
and
got
the Red Sox,
Masterson.
and right, they got
Yeah.
Masterson too. Hirsch, he's from your team. What do you think about that?
Masterson's been like very disappointing this year, so departing with him wasn't too tough, even though he was an all-star last season.
Yeah,
Um,
he's been so inconsistent. That's what I don't get. He can have games where he can pitch an entire game and get 10 Ks and not give up. And then the next day he'll get lit up for like 7 or 8 runs.
yeah,
It's so
exactly.
inconsistent.
And like I think he just never got it together after the contract talks. Like he wanted a lot of money. I think the Indians were offering like 12 million a year, and he still didn't want that. Like he wanted more than that.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, I don't know. I don't think
Who-
Wainwright has his stuff anymore.
You don't think Wainwright
I mean,
has?
sorry, Masterson. Sorry.
I was going to say, Hirsch.
Yes.
Fire you for SportsKop.
Just cause Derek Jeter got 2 hits off of him in the All-Star game, Wainwright's done.
Yeah.
But also, I just wanted to ask a question. Who did the Cleveland Indians get back for Justin Masterson? Do you know?
I think it was Dansby, the outfielder.
Oh, I don't know who that is.
I'll have to check. I think he was the number 6 prospect. So,
Okay.
um, the return value was still pretty good.
Hmm.
He was in the Futures game not too long ago,
Okay.
and I think he's in AAA now. He has like a 300 batting average in AAA.
So he's
Gotcha.
probably close to coming up.
Yeah.
Right.
Makes
And
sense.
I think he could be a good replacement for Swisher. Does Swisher still play the outfield or first base?
He's mostly at first base. He doesn't touch the outfield for the most part.
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
He's pretty good at first base though. So
Yeah, well,
You should sleep in both, dude.
well, if Matt Adams can be good at first base, I'm pretty sure everyone can be.
okay. So the next trade on our talk is going to be the one between the rivals, Red Sox and Yankees.
This is a very
Really?
surprising move.
Yeah, I didn't think they'd ever get a deal.
They got a deal done today?
Yeah. So the Yankees ended up getting Stephen Drew, and the Red Sox got Cash and Kelly Johnson.
So they basically traded a shortstop that they overpaid for a second baseman that they overpaid.
Well, they got Cash.
Okay. Well, who got Cash? Yankees or Red Sox?
The Yankees got Cash. Sorry.
I just find that so interesting. Like the Yankees, when they traded for Chase Headley, they got Cash, and then this time they're getting Cash.
I'm wrong. I'm sorry. Red Sox got the Cash.
Okay, because I was gonna say like the Yankees are so rich, I don't know why they need more cash. It's kind of weird.
Even the Red Sox have quite a bit of money.
Yeah, it's just I don't get what the Yankees are doing. They're signing all these like duds, to be honest. And
Stephen Drew has been getting better.
No, Stephen Drew is good. I'm talking about like they're getting players that are not going to be exactly difference makers. Like Brandon McCarthy's.
I kind of like their deals actually.
Do you like the Chase Headley deal and the Brandon McCarthy deal?
Considering they made like, there's another deal we're going to tell you about later.
Okay.
They made like a combination of like 5 moves that are all like relatively small pieces.
Okay.
But they've only given up like one even close to being top prospect.
Oh, okay.
So I think in the end it actually works out for them.
Right. And are they still in contention? They're only like 2 or 3 games back of the wild card, right?
That's the thing, right? So they didn't like sell and didn't buy just to like get into like the final wild card spot, but they didn't sell either.
Right.
They kind of went in the middle of the pack. I think that's the best way to do it.
I think it's a smart move. They're only 5.5 out of their division too, so it's still.
Okay, yeah. That division's surprisingly still very competitive. I mean, 2 months ago, you would think the Blue Jays would just go away, like, sweeping that.
And then they had all those injuries, though, so kind of.
Yeah, it's like the Blue Jays always have that. I remember last year, too. They had, like, 11 or 12 game winning streak, and then it just all came crashing down.
I don't think they'll crash down this time, but they didn't. That's one team that didn't make a move, really.
Right, and they were pretty active in the market too, as in the sense that they were trying to get a lot of pieces. That I know they were trying to get Samardzija before the A's got him.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised they didn't do anything. I thought they would have added a starting pitcher at least.
Right, but I feel like if Dickey can not be so inconsistent, they could have a good piece in their rotation. Mm-hmm. But I think we're getting a little off topic here. I want to hear more trade talk because I'm totally oblivious. I haven't watched MLB Network. I haven't surfed the internet.
As for the Yankees' perspective on this, they're on a major fire sale, even though they just won the World Series.
Mm-hmm.
And I think this one makes sense because they need to see what Bogart can do at shortstop.
Okay.
And they randomly brought in Stephen Drew in the middle of the season.
Yeah, that was.
And then he was just starting to get good offensively, Bogarts.
Right.
And as soon as he moved to third base, he started slumping again.
Mm-hmm.
It's like that position change keeps like messing with your swing.
Who's their third baseman now? Brock Holt?
They'll probably try to see what Will Middlebrooks can get out of.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
I like what the Red Sox are doing so far. I feel like they're rebuilding for next year, but they're also getting good pieces. And you guys
they got Alan Craig as an outfielder, which was outfielder is the biggest position of need.
Right.
And they also got Cespedes, which we're about to talk about next.
Yeah, so the next trade we're talking about involves your team, Aditya.
Okay.
I'm sure you've heard by now, but with all the text messages.
I did. I got a barrage of messages, like people saying it was either like, "Oh my God, I can't believe he's gone. He's such a good-looking guy," or it was more like I can't believe what Billy Bean's doing. And then I got a couple messages where it was more like, "Oh, I guess Billy Bean's just going all in." I kind of have mixed feelings about this trade. To recap, if people didn't know, Cespedes went the other way, or went to Red Sox, and Johnny Gomes and John Lester came back to Oakland, right?
Yes.
Okay. And some cash.
Yeah, Oakland got some cash, and then the Red Sox got a 2015 compensation draft pick.
The Red Sox gave us the compensation draft pick?
No, you gave it.
The A's gave it up.
What? Oh my God. Okay. I don't know. I don't know what exactly like. I don't really have a clear-cut like answer or like a strong opinion on this trade because Cespedes is a key part of our offense, and he still has a year in his contract left. But I think Billy Bean is going with the idea that pitching wins championships. If you look at, just in 2010 and 2012, the reason why the Giants could beat the Rangers and Detroit was simply because of pitching.
And Pablo Sandoval.
And Pablo Sandoval. I was thinking the A's should try to get him and, move Donaldson probably to like second or shortstop, even though that would be a terrible idea. Or Sandoval could just DH for us. That would have been great. But going back to this trade, I feel like Billy Beane is kind of going in that direction, and John Lester's been in the World Series, and we saw last year how good he was.
Yeah, he can dominate.
Yeah.
Right, and I feel like that's why he got the pitching that he needed. Yeah, we have Samardzija, Kazmir, and Sonny Gray, but adding another piece, another ace, to the rotation.
Each four guys that you're going to throw out there is like an ace.
Right, exactly, and it's just going toe-to-toe with other teams that also have such star-caliber pitchers on their rosters. And I feel like that's why this deal was done. I think this is our best shot to win the World Series. I don't think next year we'll have a good team as this. Yeah, Parker's going to come back, Griffin's going to come back, Samardzija's going to stay for another year. But if this year we don't win the World Series or we get close to it, I'm not going to be extremely disappointed as long as we make a great run into the postseason. And let's hope we get into the postseason in the first place because the Angels are right behind us.
You don't want that wild card game.
Exactly, because if we face Felix Hernandez in that one game, we're done. It's going to be hard to take that, especially considering how we've just gone all in. We just gave up our top prospect, Addison Russell, for Jeff Samardzija, and now we gave up Cespedes, who we could have used next year, to build for the future, since next year was his final year in his contract, and we could have kept him another year before we traded him.
I think the future for you guys is not looking very good. If this
it's not at all.
Out.
It's very bleak. It's very bleak. That's why this year and next year are the only two good years I think the Oakland still has.
You need a World Series. You need one World Series in one of those 2 years.
Basically, and I think this is our best shot. I like the move. I think Billy Beane has a lot of guts to do what he has done. Hopefully it works out. I'm pretty excited to see how this is going to pan out. I don't think it's a question of who won the deal, because as long as the A's win a World Series, it doesn't matter if Cespedes goes on to become a 50-50 or a 60-60 guy like some A's analyst thinks he's going to be, which I think is ridiculous.
But I do think moving to Fenway is going to help his numbers too.
Oh, absolutely. He can hit balls pretty deep and pretty high, and considering it's not even that deep, the monster. Yeah, so it's gonna be pretty interesting to see how he develops as a player there, and I feel like he can also stay in Boston beyond next year, since Boston has the money, and they can certainly keep him as a Red Sox for the future.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were targeting Matt Kemp. They were targeting any kind of big-name outfielder they could get.
Right.
I'm surprised they got Cespedes. I think it's a pretty good haul for them as well.
It is, and if Lester goes back to Boston after this year, then you're just basically getting back all your pieces.
No,
and on top of that, you're
that's
getting
not gonna happen.
You don't think Lester's gonna go back to Boston?
I think he's saying that to be nice, but he's gonna get way too much money in free agency for him to come back.
Probably. Who do you think is going to be that guy? I feel like the Angels will give him a lot of money.
Dodgers? Who knows?
Yeah, Dodgers. There's always the Dodgers. But I think
it could very well be the Yankees. They love older guys.
That's true. And I feel like if I have to summarize the whole trade, I'm not really happy that Cespedes is going the other way, because he is a fan favorite, and we love seeing him play in the outfield and do some great moves. But if you look at the underlying numbers, he's a guy who has decent batting average, has 20-25 home run caliber, or caliber to hit 20-25 home runs a season, and he's a good player. Don't get me wrong, but I think getting Lester for 2 months is pretty good if you're looking to just go all in and win it this year.
Yeah, Billy Beane is treating this like it's just this one fantasy baseball season.
Yeah.
I know, it's pretty crazy.
It's like nothing next year doesn't matter, or the year before.
Yeah, he's been patient his whole life, though.
I know, it's pretty interesting to see what he's been doing. And this is kind of the antithesis of Moneyball, because he's just going off the fact that, Lester's been there, done that, so let's just get him. I mean,
Yeah.
he is a good player too. Don't get me wrong, but
You can't
also,
argue with pitching at the end of the day, though.
absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
And the only concern I have though is as far as our hitting goes. In the postseason last year, Cespedes was the only guy who could actually hit. Donaldson.
That's a problem.
Yeah,
I
Donaldson
feel like
and Moss
Go-
weren't that great.
Gomes can hit lefties really well,
Right.
and then you have, as much as I don't like seeing him in the outfield, Vogt can hit righties pretty well.
Just
I'm just
It's
trying to
gonna-
I'm just trying to paint an optimistic picture for you this year.
well, it's gonna be pretty atrocious to see Brandon Moss at left field, and then you'll have Vogt at first. I feel like that's gonna be for most days going forward.
But I'm saying Vogt and Gomes can pretty much be like the platoon version of Cespedes in a way.
Yeah, that could work. Yeah, hopefully it works out, dude. Honestly, if this year we lose to the Tigers again in Game 5, I'm done. It's gonna be such a horrible next 5 to 10 years for us, because it's gonna be hard to rebuild. How are we gonna rebuild after this year?
Let's talk about the Tigers more.
I guess maybe we should. Wait, sorry, what was that?
No, apparently Chengas is saying Tigers made some more moves.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna just mention. The Tigers acquired David Price today. I don't.
Hey, for all the viewers out there, I mean Ben, Aditya actually knew about that trade beforehand, so
Yeah,
that reaction was fake.
yeah, it's kind of fake. But I'm still pretty upset about that because it's like we got Lester and then they're saying, okay, no problem, we'll also get an ace, just to add and bolster their rotation.
So it was a 3-team trade, right?
Yeah,
it was I don't know the details. I only know that Price went to the Tigers.
So the Mariners got Austin Jackson,
Okay.
and the Rays got Drew Smiley, Nick Franklin, and Willie Adams. I don't know who Willie Adams
So
is.
Willie Adams is like the Tigers' very young and raw shortstop prospect.
Okay.
But apparently, all the scouts are saying he's really good, and he's been climbing up the prospect charts.
Okay.
Then Nick Franklin is Seattle's best second base prospect.
Yeah, I remember that.
Obviously, he can't get in the lineup as Cano, but
Yeah.
he's gonna have a lot of cup control over the next few years. And then Smiley's been decent in the rotation. You forget about him because all the other Tiger pitchers.
Yeah,
He's young too.
he's decent.
And Austin Jackson actually got moved out, came out of the game midway. They pulled him from the game.
Wow.
Field.
Did Rajai Davis take over?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I feel like they're believing in JD Martinez and Rajai Davis as their outfielder since Jackson's moving. But adding Price and only giving up Austin Jackson is pretty solid. It's definitely not as bad as giving up Cespedes for Lester.
Yeah, but the thing is, Price has a year left, right?
Yeah, Price has a year left.
And Lester's a 2-month rental.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know why the Rays didn't just give Price to us. I mean, come on. we could have given the Rays Derek Barton if they needed to. We have some solid prospects too down in the minors.
But do you even need a fifth pitcher for the playoffs? I feel like most teams just go 4-man rotation anyways.
Yeah,
They don't,
our
but-
fifth pitcher would be Drew Pomeranz, I think. That would be what I would like to have.
Tiger's fifth pitcher could either be Rick Porcello or Justin Verlander, depending on how it goes.
Yes,
Oh, yeah.
yes. That's not good. That's pretty much they'll just save Justin Verlander if they're on the brink of elimination and make him pitch 2 straight days if they had to. If it was Game 4 and Game 5, they'll just make him go out there and pitch both games because they'll just give him a month rest before the playoffs. Be just take care of the A's. We don't need them to score. We're good.
So who do you think has the better rotation now?
The A's or the Tigers?
Because the ERAs say the A's. But
I think the Tigers still have the upper hand.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah, I think the Tigers definitely have the upper hand because
I like
Verlander owns us. Okay, Verlander can have a 6 ERA this season and he can still dominate us. So that's not looking good. And Scherzer is pretty solid. Animal
Scherzer's
is
been
good.
getting better and better throughout the year.
Right. Anibal Sanchez is solid. David Price,
Yes,
obviously.
David Price.
Yeah, David Price. So I think Tigers still have the upper hand. I just hope we don't face the Tigers. How about that? If we don't face them and someone else takes care of them, I'll be happy.
Easier said than done.
Yeah, it is. It's easier said than done. Hopefully it works out this way that the Angels have to face them, and then the Angels eliminate them, and then the A's face the Angels, and then it always goes to extra innings, and the bullpen of the Angels just blows up every game. That'll be great.
The Angels solidify their bullpen.
Yeah, it's still bad though. We always beat them in extra innings, so I'm not worried about that.
It'll be the revenge of Houston Street. Mark my words.
Yeah, definitely. Interesting fact: Houston Street in '06, he threw the last pitch for the Oakland A's against the Tigers when they swept us in the ALCS. So I just want to throw it out there.
You remember that?
I don't. I just saw it on a commercial like in 2011 when they were doing some baseball promos and like for the postseason, and it was like, oh man, Tigers owned us even in '06.
Well,
all right. I think we've been talking too much about the Oakland A's. Have they done any other deals on top of this today, or is that it?
I don't believe so. No, that was their big move.
Okay, so we didn't get any.
Move on to your other team.
Wait, hold on. I have a question. Okay. We didn't
Yeah.
even try to get a second baseman or a shortstop.
No.
Well, they probably tried, just didn't find a good offer.
Because it would have been nice if we would have added Zobrist or Chase Utley. Because our second base spot is pretty terrible.
Yeah, I think the Rays are so focused on trading Price that they didn't even attempt to trade off Zobrist.
Yeah, that's kind of
He stayed pat.
I heard Utley's asking price
Okay. Let's get to the Phillies.
I just got an update. Like, I was checking my phone just now because Cliff Lee got injured again. The same elbow that kept him out for 2 months before.
Okay, but anyway, let's move into the Phillies completely.
Yeah, so obviously the Phillies didn't trade him. They let him pitch today, and he got injured.
Jesus. Oh my God. That is so dumb. Why would they let him pitch if they knew that he was somewhat injured?
Why not trade him? That's what I'm worried. Why didn't they trade him?
I think they thought he was healthy enough to pitch, but
I don't get why they didn't trade him. This is exactly my point.
There was a lot of talk today that he would still be the most interesting person on the waiver deadline. It's like a month from now.
That's true. Yeah, he can still go from there. Hopefully the A's get him.
But now that he got injured,
yeah,
it's not looking good.
How long is he going to be injured? If it's the same elbow.
He was pitching fine for like 2 innings today, and then he just came out the game himself.
Yeah.
He complained about his elbow.
If it's the same elbow, that's kind of troublesome because he was out for a good while with that.
Yeah, they said 2 months beforehand.
Yeah, that's not looking good. But if he can get healthy and if the A's get him somehow, that'd be pretty awesome.
But I don't think they're going. I think one of the reasons he didn't go is because people were scared off by the elbow.
Yeah, that could be the case. And also, over like the last week or 2 weeks, I've been hearing that Amaro has been asking for way too much for.
Yeah, can I have you?
Yeah, I've heard the
interesting
same
story about that.
Sure, yeah, go for it.
So the Dodgers have 3 top prospects, right?
Yeah, Peterson.
Corey Seager, Kyle Seager's little brother.
Yeah.
And there's a Cuban guy. I forget his name right now. But those are the big 3, okay?
Okay.
So guess what the Amaro wanted for Cole Hamels?
All 3 of them?
All 3 of them?
Yeah.
Why would anyone give up all 3 of them for a pitcher who's owed so much money and it hasn't even been that good? I feel like Amaro thinks that there are GMs out there that are just as dumb as he is.
You want to hear what his quotes are for today?
Yeah, sure.
Let's go down the list of the other players that were on the block first,
Okay.
and then I'll bring up that quote.
Okay.
All right, so Hirsch.
There's Ben Revere.
He stayed.
Chase Utley.
He stayed.
Cliff Lee stayed. Cole Hamels obviously stayed.
Ryan Howard. Stayed.
Ryan Howard.
Yeah, that's not surprising.
I don't think Howard has as much value.
Yeah, who else? Who else were you expecting to be traded?
Marlon Byrd.
He got some interest, but stayed.
And how about AJ Burnett?
Stayed.
So basically, they still have the same.
The Phillies made 0 moves.
So they still think that these players have what it takes to win a World Series.
I don't know. I'm gonna pull up a Ruben Amaro Jr. quote for you today.
Okay.
Man, what are your thoughts about this?
Well, what you haven't told me the quote yet.
No, what are your thoughts about
Like,
Phillies' non-activity?
Well, I'm not really surprised, to be honest. I mean, I don't think anyone's pretty stupid out there to actually get those players and meet the Phillies' requirements. Because Amaro wanted the teams to give up their top 2 or 3 prospects and eat a chunk of the money for the player they wanted. And I don't think
to be fair, he was willing to eat up chunks of money. The Phillies were.
Okay, but still, it's like you can't really expect that much for players that are old and just overpaid. You know, you if you have to rebuild, you got to be kind of realistic about it too. And I feel like the best thing the Phillies can do is fire Ruben Amaro, rather than just keeping him there. That's the best thing they can do to start off. But hopefully they don't hire someone like Bud Black. Not Bud Black, but the GM for the Cubs. Who was that before he got fired? I don't remember. Or Kevin Towers. If they hire someone like that, obviously the Phillies are doomed for like the next 10 or 20 years.
All right, so here's this quote.
Okay.
I'm not necessarily disappointed. I'm more surprised that there wasn't more aggressive action from the other end. We had some pretty good baseball players here. Our goal all along was to try and improve the club, and there really was not a deal that would help us do that.
He's just blaming all the other GMs.
Yeah, he said they weren't aggressive enough on a day where there was like a record number of deals.
Yeah, why are they're not aggressive? Because he has ridiculous expectations from his own end. He's like the guy who complains that no one. He's like the guy who complains that no one trades with him, but then he doesn't even put up offers that are somewhat, kind of appealing, or offers that you might think, oh wow, I might want to do that. It's more like, oh, I'm going to give you a really good player, or sorry, I want the top 2 or 3 prospects from your organization that you have spent your draft pick on, you've signed them, you've developed them, for a dude that's like 35 or 36, and you have to also pay like 20 or 30 million left in his contract.
Oh, I mean, he had some bad things to say about prospects too.
What do you say? Like, oh, prospects are dumb?
He said, in this day and age, I think one of the most over-coveted elements of baseball are prospects.
And that's exactly why
I don't know how many prospects that have been dealt over the last several years that have really come back to bite people in the ass. I think teams are really kind of overvaluing in some regards.
He actually said that? He said those things?
Yes. Actual quotes.
Yeah, that's why they're in last place. That's brilliant. That's brilliant. That's why they went so aggressive getting Hunter Pence and then just letting him go the next year. They went aggressive getting. That's just so dumb.
They have nothing to show for that Hunter Pence trade.
Nothing, yeah. And they gave up
those players aren't even on their team.
And they gave up Jarred Cosart, who's pretty solid. And they gave up John Singleton and some dude that they didn't even realize they gave up.
And Cosart got dealt today too.
Oh, really?
We'll talk about that later.
Okay.
I just want to go through like the Phillies, the people that are going to try to trade, and like tell you why it's like flawed to even think they would even get traded.
Okay.
Jonathan Papelbon, he's like one of the most expensive closers on the market.
Oh yeah, I was gonna ask, did he get traded?
I forgot about Papelbon.
No, he didn't get traded.
He didn't. Yeah, not surprising.
Ryan Howard is the highest paid position player in the MLB.
Yeah, Howard's not worth it.
I know.
Marlon Byrd was attractive, but he said he would not like waive off the no trade clause
Mm-hmm.
unless someone picked up his option for next year.
Oh wow.
So,
So
that
he
like totally ruined his
he
value.
basically just wants to make more money staying in Philadelphia.
Pretty much. Then like either Jimmy Rollins, I think Jimmy Rollins did the same thing, or Utley. I'm not
Okay.
sure. And then AJ Burnett's not even doing that great this year.
Yeah, that's true.
The guy I expected to get traded, Antonio Bastardo.
Okay.
I don't know why that didn't happen. I guess their price is too high.
The Amara is probably like, he's so good as, you know, a mid reliever. We'll keep him for the next 10 years. We'll sign him up for a $60 million contract.
And then Cliff Lee, you should have traded him in the offseason.
That's what I don't get.
Yeah.
That's
They
what I
should
don't
have gotten
get.
him a while ago.
Because Cliff Lee is already, what, like 35, 36?
I don't think he's that old, but he's old, yeah.
Yeah, so why not just trade him? Why keep him?
Who
It's like
knows?
if you're because I feel like the centerpiece for the Phillies to rebuild should be Cole Hamels, because they signed him.
That's the only guy who kind of makes sense for you to keep.
Exactly, because he's what, 30? He's our youngest pitcher at 30 years old.
But even him, I mean, his value is going to diminish in like 2 or 3 years.
Exactly. So
But his contract's too high to probably trade off for.
yeah, I don't get it, man. So wait, I have a question.
Yeah.
Just backtracking a little bit. Did the Dodgers deal anybody, or are
No.
they still the same?
They stayed put.
Stayed the
So
same.
Peterson's not gonna come up.
We could, but
That's
At
not
this
gonna help
point-
my fantasy team. All right, let's move on. Sorry, I just had to ask about that. I was very curious. But as far as the Phillies go, it's not really surprising that no one wanted any of the Philadelphia Phillies players, because if they did get them, their win differential would probably go down like 2 or 3 points, and I feel like it would be pretty dumb to eat up a bunch of the money for the players that they have. And I feel like they're just going to rot for another 2-3 years before something good happens or comes out of.
they really need to make a move at the waiver wire deadline, or else
Yeah, definitely.
they're screwed.
Definitely, because
How is next year going to be any better than this year?
exactly, it
The
doesn't make
next 3
sense.
years is going to be any better.
It doesn't make any
5 years.
sense. And I mean, it's a comparison of two. I feel like because in 2010, right, they started playing in the World Series and then they got knocked out by the Cardinals, and that was the end of it. Like that was the year where they had their last shot with Halladay, Hamels, Lee, and then with players who are still kind of in the end of their prime. And it's contrasting because for the A's, they're going to lose their players, but the Phillies just are kind of like stuck with these players because they've given them so much money that they're just going to stink for a longer period of time with the same pieces. Whereas for the A's, it's just we have to rebuild. So we'll be bad, but we'll only be bad for like 3 or 4 years. But for the Phillies, it's like we'll be bad for 7 to 10 years, and we'll pay like $200 million more to be bad.
Yeah.
It's not looking good in Philadelphia.
It's not.
The sooner Amara goes, the better it is for everybody there.
Probably.
Yeah, definitely. Hey, how about your Giants? Did they make any moves?
No,
No,
they
they
didn't.
stayed
They
pat.
stood still. Yeah.
Is Ugla still with the Giants or
I think he has the option of
So-
getting released,
okay?
Yeah, exactly.
or else he's going to go to AAA.
Yeah, AAA are getting released, and the
He
Giants
should,
gave him the
he
choice.
should come to Oakland, dude.
Don't
You don't want
be
him.
so sure about that.
You don't want him.
No,
Like
it's
his
cool.
first
I just
3
want
games.
to. I just want to experiment. I just want to see what he can do. You know, if we have Vogt and then Ugla in the infield, that's a pretty solid infield. I'm just kidding. Just kidding. As far as defensive, it's not looking pretty on defense if he comes to second base. Didn't he already make like 5 errors for the Giants?
Yeah. In his first 3 games, I think he was 0 for 8, struck out 5 times, and had 3 errors. In his
that's
first 3 games.
Yeah, that's
To be fair, he was called up too early.
that's true.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
that's
guess, but
All
still.
right, let's go on to the minor moves.
okay.
Okay.
We did that Jarred Cosart move I wanted to talk about with Aditya, because he was mentioning him.
Cosart.
Who did he get dealt to?
Marlins.
Marlins.
Marlins. Oh.
They were kind of like buying at the end, even though they looked at like they were selling beforehand.
Yeah, they're only like 5.5 games back of the wild card in the end.
Yeah, I guess they thought they needed a starting pitcher, so they got Cosart.
Right, because they lost Fernandez, so they needed to replace that. I think.
This is a 6-player swap. Our Astros also gave up Enrique Hernandez,
Okay.
Austin Waits.
Okay.
They got Jake Marisnick, Francis Martes, and Colin Moran. Moran was like a first-round pick from last year.
Interesting.
He could have gone number 1 overall. So I think,
wow.
I think that was pretty high thing to give up just to get Cosart.
So the Astros or the Marlins gave up that first-round pick?
Yeah.
To get Cosart? Oh wow, interesting. And what position does he play?
Moran?
Yeah.
I'll search it up. I'm not sure.
But I think Cosart is a good piece. He doesn't get a lot of Ks, but he gets a lot of ground balls, and that's how he's been efficient, even in the minor leagues.
He's a third baseman.
Oh, he's a third baseman? Nice. And Astros need a third baseman, because Matt Dominguez is not that great.
That's true.
They have, John Singleton, I think he can still develop and, become a better player overall.
Singleton's going to be good.
Yeah, and obviously George Springer is pretty solid. So they have some good pieces there.
Yeah, I think that was a good haul by them.
Okay.
They're following the Cubs route. They're giving away all their starting pitching in hopes of better position players.
Right.
Like the same strategy.
Right.
And same with the Red Sox.
Yeah, that's true.
They give up the 4 starting pitchers of this year.
Wait, so they gave up other pieces too today? Or just...
No, earlier.
Oh, early. Right. Yeah. I'm surprised Clay Buchholz is still a Red Sox.
I don't think he has any value on the market right now.
I thought he would, just a little bit. I mean, he is shown that he can be good for a stretch of time. So I was surprised that there was no interest for him in the first place. Because I think it would have been a sneaky trade, in my opinion.
Okay, so other moves: the Braves got the Cubs relief pitcher James Russell and Emilio Bonifacio.
Oh, okay, nice.
And they got some prospect and cash in return.
Okay, so where would they play Bonifacio, the Braves?
Probably second base.
Second? Oh yeah, because they have Tyler Pastor-Nicky.
Yeah, they used to have Ugla.
Yeah.
I kind of wanted Bonifacio for the Giants. I like that move for them.
Because he's versatile, right? He can play.
He's really good against lefties too.
Nice.
And he's speedy.
Right.
He gets him a leadoff hitter. They don't have a leadoff hitter over there.
That's true. Yeah, that's true. Are the Nationals and the Braves still pretty close in the division?
Yeah.
NL East.
Yeah,
and the Nationals made a move also.
Okay. Yeah, because when the season started, you would think the Braves would just run away with it, but then they also kind of.
The Nationals finally became the team we thought they would be.
Yeah, except for Harper.
They added they got Asdrubal Cabrera today.
Yeah.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Who the Nationals?
Yeah.
And who did the Indians get back for that?
Zach Waiters, I believe. He's like
Zach Walters.
Yeah, apparently he's got pop, which is rare from his position. Is what I'm hearing.
Okay.
So,
interesting.
They want to move. They keep Rendon at third and take Espinoza out of the lineup.
Okay.
So they don't play Cabrera at second.
Yeah, because Cabrera at shortstop wouldn't work because Desmond's playing there.
Yeah. But Cabrera's not that great at shortstop anyways, so it makes sense to move him.
Yeah, it does. And if Cabrera can get hot, that's pretty solid.
But this basically signals that Zimmerman is probably done for most of the year.
Yeah, that's true.
He had a really bad hamstring injury.
Yeah, and he might move to first base too next year.
Yeah, he can't throw.
That's true. Yeah, and as Hirsch goes for a little break. I'm not sure what he's doing up there. I
saw his dog.
Oh, okay. I thought he got some calls for some trade moves.
Okay, let's get on to the other deals. The Yankees made one more deal.
What was that?
So the big prospect I was talking about, Peter O'Brien.
Okay.
He's like a power-hitting catcher.
Okay.
That was the biggest piece they gave up this offseason. He's not even their best prospect. And they got Martin Prado.
They got Prado? That's pretty impressive.
Yeah, so they're really changing up their infield.
Yeah, that's a pretty nice move, dude.
Yeah, I'm kind of like that's what I'm saying. Kind of like what the Yankees did.
Yeah, that's pretty nice because you went. Prado has kind of had a down year, but going to that ballpark, his power could come back too.
Yeah, and he has versatility too.
Absolutely, because now they acquired Stephen Drew. They have Prado. That's pretty solid in the infield right there. And then
Yeah, they had second base and third base holes, so it makes sense.
Yeah, because Headley's a pretty good replacement for the platooning at third base they had.
Yeah, or DH.
Yeah, and A-Rod's out, so that's obviously they need to fill that up there. And then Jashira in first, and then you have Beltran, Brett Gardner, and Jacoby in the outfield. That's pretty good. That's a pretty good lineup.
Yeah, and they can put Headley or Prado at DH. Probably Headley.
Yeah, definitely. And they have and if McCann doesn't do as bad as
McCann is starting to turn around a little bit.
Yeah, so if they make it to the postseason somehow, and if those bats get hot, they're a pretty strong team to look at.
Okay, so let's go on to a different part of the AL East. It's Andrew Miller, who's like the big relief pitcher on the market. The Orioles got him.
Orioles got him?
Yeah.
Also, the Orioles finally decided to do something. Because they've been trying to get everybody out there, and they finally just got Andrew Miller.
It's still a big piece for them, I think.
Yeah,
their bullpen is known to have like random blow-ups.
Yeah, that's true. And
it takes me out of a lot of save opportunities. Trust me.
Oh, because you had you had Darren O'Day or Zach Britton.
I have Zach Britton, who's doing fine, but people before him usually blow it up, and then he doesn't get the save opportunity.
I see what you mean.
I think they needed to solidify their bullpen.
Yeah, because the Orioles' biggest weakness is their pitching. If their prospects pan out, like
that's why they wanted Lester.
Right. Because and even for the future, if Dylan Bundy pans out, and then also who is it? Forgetting his name. I always pick him up in fantasy. Gosman. Yeah, Kevin Gosman.
I knew it.
If those two guys pan out, then their rotation will have a pretty nice 1-2 punch going on. But right now, their pitching is definitely their weakest point in their team, and adding some depth to the bullpen is pretty nice.
We didn't talk about the Mariners that much, but besides getting Austin Jackson, they also got Chris D'Onofrio.
Okay.
So they got two right-handed bats.
Mm-hmm.
I think that can help, though.
Definitely. I don't think the Mariners are. I think the Mariners are just building more on pitching though, because they have so many pitching prospects. It's pretty unbelievable how.
But the hitting needs help, so I think Austin Jackson and D'Onofrio might help.
Definitely, yeah. I'm surprised that Walker wasn't traded, because there were some rumors about that they were trying to trade some of their pitching for like a rental or a solid player from one of the teams that were not doing good.
That's true.
So that's kind of surprising. But I feel like they're just thinking that this year is not really a strong year for them to contend. So we'll just build for the future. Because if Walker and then James Paxton,
he's good,
and Danny Hultzen, all three of those guys become really good in the major leagues. That's a pretty strong rotation with Iwakuma and Felix Hernandez.
They're set up for the next couple years to come.
Yeah, exactly. When the A's, start to fall down the graph, that's when the Mariners will come up, I think, in the next 2 to 3 years.
Agreed.
Yeah. What else was going on today? Was Price and Lester the only big blockbuster deals? Nothing else?
That's enough for blockbuster deals.
Yeah.
That's already pretty crazy.
No, I know, but I was expecting more because the thing was, I was trying so hard not to go to Twitter or to MLB trade rumors this whole day.
We expected more too, but the Phillies didn't do anything.
Exactly. I wanted the Phillies to do something, but they didn't.
Well, the Brewers made a move.
What was that?
They got a Gerrardo Parra?
Yeah,
Gerrardo Parra from the D-backs?
Yeah, so they got a outfielder, which they kind of needed.
Yeah, see, we're like digging for more like things to talk about.
The A's also got one more person. Forgot to mention.
Oh yeah, did we mention the Tommy Millone trade?
Oh yeah, the Sam Fuld. Yeah, Sam.
Yeah.
That was kind of interesting because we let Sam Fuld go, and then
we got him back.
Really?
But we had to give up the pitcher for him too.
I guess Tommy Malone was wanting a trade though, so.
Yeah, it makes sense because we lost Coco Chris to injury, and Gentry's also out, so we needed a center fielder too. And I think Sam Full fits that bill because he's pretty good, as a defensive player too. I know he plays left field mostly, but he can also, move to center and kind of give Billy Burns, some off days because Billy Burns is kind of like our top prospect.
What do you think of Billy Burns coming up?
I think it makes sense. It's nice to give him a little trial. He's never hit well, but he can run. He has like 56 stolen bases in the minor leagues. So the guy has speed, and if he can hit for decent average or just make contact, kind of like a D. Gordon, if he can become that kind of player, then we have a solid leadoff hitter, for the future. But I don't think he's going to be up for long. I think he's going to be sent back soon. So.
Probably.
Yeah, and we got him for Jerry Blevins, I think, last year, from the Nationals. I think that's how we ended up with Billy Burns. So Hirsch, what are your thoughts, man? Were you pretty happy with what was going on in MLB today, or are you just like, man, I hope the Cleveland Indians barely just get in, or some miracle happens for them?
Yeah, this isn't the Indians' year for sure.
Indians kind of went seller mode.
Yeah, they sold Masteron and Cabrera, but those guys weren't.
I think Cabrera made sense because you have a top shortstop prospect.
Yeah, and Cabrera's on I think the last year of his contract.
Yeah, Francisco Lindor, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. He's pretty solid.
I'm pretty disappointed the Giants didn't get anyone in the end, but
I'm surprised.
What can they get?
I think it's a net win though because the Dodgers didn't do anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really hope they bring up Peterson, man.
Dude, shut up.
I think the Giants will be fine if they just get healthy.
Yeah, I think Pagan and Belt really make a difference.
Yeah, and even if they just need some decent production from second base, even someone hitting for 200 would be an upgrade for us.
I think if you just leave Panic there, I think it'll work out.
For second base?
Yeah, he's
okay. Do you guys have no other options? Even when the waiver deadline approaches?
We could. I mean, Chase Utley's. If Amara wants to throw Chase Utley out there.
Yeah, that could work pretty nice for you guys, I think. But as far as the Giants go, if the Dodgers are so hot and if they can cool down a bit, it will help. But don't the Giants also have a pretty solid chance to even get the wild card? If they don't
but no one wants the wild card.
Yeah.
No, I know, but I'm just saying, you could still get into the playoffs. You have a pretty good chance of doing that.
True,
and I thought acquiring Jake Peavy was a very smart deal.
I like the deal, but we're still trending in the wrong direction right now with our offense.
Yeah, it's not looking good. And do you think Sandoval will come back as a Giant?
I probably.
I'm leaning towards it, but
I say that because Brian Sabian loves to reward people.
Yeah.
Wow.
And he's not going to be that expensive either. I think if he stays the way he is right now,
he'll still be expensive.
Yeah.
You think so?
I mean, look at fantasy baseball. Who's a better third baseman?
There's
not that many. There's maybe
Donaldson, Beltray, and then
Seager,
it just
and that's it.
And then it just
it's so bad.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not looking good at third base. But if the Giants overpay for the Sandoval, that's not going to help you guys. What?
They're going to.
They're going to.
They overpay every player who deserves it, I guess.
Yeah,
that's the one problem with our
logic.
That's why we can't make these big deals like you. Because our cap space is all
Yeah.
Lindstrom has so much money. Kane has so much money. We waste the extra money we have.
Yeah, it's not like the A's have a lot of money.
No, I know, but I'm saying even though we have way more money than you guys, we wasted on stuff like that.
Yeah, I remember in 2010,
even
you guys.
Scudero has a big contract.
Yeah, Scudero has a 3-year deal.
Yeah, I remember you guys gave 22 mil to Aubrey Huff after 2010, and he never came back.
Oh my god.
This is what I'm talking about.
Yeah. You guys should stop doing that. Stop being so loyal, being so nice
I
to your
know.
players.
Sabian's like two-faced, dude. He makes some good moves and then there's some really bad moves.
It's got you 2 World Series rings, so you can't really
You
complain.
can't
No,
complain.
I'm saying his trades are usually not that bad,
Yeah,
with the exception of the Carlos Beltran one.
right.
I mean, his trades are good, and then he
Mhm.
drafts good pitchers.
Yeah,
Did they
He
ever?
can't draft hitters, and he makes bad deals, like
right.
free agent deals.
Yeah.
That's how I sum him up.
Right.
But that's not even nearly as close as how bad Ruben Amaro Jr. is.
I don't think anyone comes close.
I don't think anyone. I don't know how anyone will be close ever again.
Yeah. But man, that's a very interesting trade deadline day, though. I'm excited to see what the
Yeah,
A's
today
can
was a big
do.
day.
I just pray to God that we do something good this year. We get past the ALDS, we go to the World Series, and we have a great postseason.
So the
That's all
ALCS
I want.
doesn't exist.
What's up?
The ALCS doesn't exist.
Just jump a step.
Yeah, if the ALCS didn't exist, we could just go to the World Series.
You said we'll just get out of the ALDS and go to the World Series.
Oh, my bad. I thought I was saying the ALCS. Yeah, because ALDS, if you face Detroit again, I'm gonna be really disappointed. But if we
What if we
can
get a wild card game?
if we can get past Detroit in the ALDS though, that will be such a confidence booster. I think we'll be unstoppable if we can do that.
You
So,
yeah.
because who else is really good in the AL? If you really think about it,
The Angels.
Angels, yeah, but we can beat those
We can beat
guys.
them. We can beat them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we can beat them pretty.
I think the only ones you really need to worry about are the Tigers.
Exactly, because the Red Sox are not even in the
The
picture
Red
anymore.
Sox aren't. Yeah.
Yeah, the Blue Jays are pretty good, but the A's,
Just only offensively.
yeah, and the A's can deal with the Blue Jays. It's the Tigers that are the hardest team to beat. So the ideal situation, like I said, would be if the Angels play the Tigers and eliminate them, and then the A's play the Angels and they eliminate them. That'll be
Okay,
great.
but stop doing that.
Yeah, and we have home field advantage in the World Series too. So that also helps. Thanks to Jarred Jeter.
Thanks to Trout.
No, it's about Jarred Jeter, dude. Come on, you're taking away baseball tradition and all those dudes who say that Jeter is amazing. And oh my God, he deserves a loss to bro. I tip my hat to him.
I still
My
think
hat to
Adam
him.
Wainwright was lying.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he was lying.
I think he just got served up and then started making an excuse for it.
No, I know. Like in the 8th inning, Aaron Andrews was interviewing him, which is why I watched the interview. He was saying how he was saying how what he said he regretted what he said immediately, and he was saying how social media doesn't help whatsoever because it just spreads around like wildfire. And he was joking about it. He was like, "I'm not just serving up pitches." Yeah, he hit them pretty well. So even he admitted that that's not what exactly he meant.
He's probably sarcastic.
Yeah, it's whatever. It's okay. The AL has home field advantage. Hopefully the A's can take that to their advantage. And what's cool is Derek Norris got the winning run for the AL this year. He scored the winning run. And the Giants did the same thing with Melky Cabrera back in 2010 or 12? 12. Yeah, 12. So, and the Giants had a ton of all-star players in that game, and the A's had 6 this year.
And
So
the Giants won
hopefully,
the World Series, so you think it's a sign?
I know, yeah. So hopefully, like it all falls into place. Hopefully,
So
we
are you
have,
saying- Are you saying Derek Norris is gonna get caught for steroids?
dude. Hell yeah. He will. Watch. Like, hopefully, it's after the World Series though, and not before. But honestly, I don't know how he's doing this good. I would be surprised if he's taking some kind of steroids. I mean, look at the amount of hair he's growing. That's gotta show you something.
I think Josh Harrison's on steroids. He has a home run in like 4 straight games. Where does that come from?
Yeah, I don't get that. I don't get that. But as far as Jason Hamill goes, I know we're just going here and there, but Jason Hamill has been pretty terrible so far for Oakland. As soon as he came back from the NL to the AL, he just became as bad as he was with the Orioles.
Well, now you won't need him in your rotation in the playoffs.
Exactly. We got Lester, man. Hopefully no one gets injured. That's what I'm really scared about.
I think this move is you made it right in time too, because Hamill's getting lit up, and Chavez is starting to go back to normal.
Exactly. And Chavez was. I don't think Chavez was ever like gonna stay in the rotation.
Yeah.
Because how much innings has he pitched like at most in previous seasons? Like 100, 110 or 120, and even there, he had a career ERA of like 4.3 or something.
Mm-hmm.
So, and over like the past 5 to 7 games, if you look at it, it's been his home run splits are kind of showing. Like he's decent at home, but he's terrible on the road. And Eric Carabell was talking about that on ESPN too, and I would agree because he got lit up by the Astros this weekend, or not this weekend, but this week when he faced them in Minute Maid Park. So the ballpark definitely helps. So now that we have Kazmir, who I hope doesn't get injured, and then Sonny Gray, who has pitched a lot of innings, and he's never pitched this much innings in any of his previous years, albeit he hasn't really had a lot of MLB playing experience. And now we have Lester and Samardzija. I think it's solid. I'm looking forward to it. Hopefully it all works out. That's all I have to say.
I just hope the Dodgers don't win the series.
Don't worry. If we face the Dodgers in the World Series, we'll beat them.
I don't really hope you win either. I'm just saying I hope the Dodgers don't win.
You know what? That will exactly be like when A's fans had to see the Giants and the Tigers play each other. It was just like, why are we watching these two teams? Because we don't want either one of them to win, to be honest.
Were you a little happy, though, that the Tigers didn't get all the way?
What's up?
Were you a little happy, though, that the Tigers didn't get all the way to their goal?
I really couldn't care less. I was just like, I was
Weren't you a little happy to see Verlander get hit?
Kind of.
Wow.
I would have rather seen a team other than the Giants do that.
Come on, when Pablo hit those home runs, you were kind of happy.
I was kind of happy, a little bit. But then I was like, it's the Giants. Great. Now I have to deal with all these people telling me, look at us, we can beat Verlander, but you guys can't do anything.
It's true.
Yeah. But if the Dodgers face us, hopefully A's lit up Kershaw. I don't think the A's have faced Kershaw, so that'll be pretty interesting to see.
Yeah, I think you'd be screwed in that first
game.
So
good.
I know.
Oh,
I think you'd be screwed in that first game.
Hopefully Derek Norris hits like 3 home runs. That would be quite a story.
I think
then people would definitely accuse him for taking steroids.
I think it's time to wrap this thing up.
Yeah, I think we're running out of topics, to be honest.
Should we tell our audience what to expect?
Yeah,
From
you
us?
might as well tell Ben what to expect.
Oh, yeah, why not?
Okay. Wait, do you guys want to say anything, or?
I just want to say that Chengiz is awesome.
Aw, it's so cute. It's all embarrassed, too.
I just want to say Aditya has 3 articles coming up.
Don't. Way to put more expectations on my shoulders.
All at least 1,000 words each, right?
Yeah. They're like essays.
Yeah, they were good too. I was reading over them.
They were some of the best work I've ever seen.
Yeah, so SportsKop is gonna be climbing the ladder.
Oh, thanks a lot, guys. Ben's gonna be hoping for really good articles now. But I'm definitely planning to write something about Liverpool and the A's coming up because Liverpool has also been pretty active in the transfers for soccer. So after Suarez is gone, so that would be pretty interesting to talk about. And obviously the A's have been so active, so I have to write an article about that.
You're even repping the A's in your T-shirt right now.
What's up?
You're repping the A's on your T-shirt right now.
Yeah, that was this was all planned. I have outdated posters on the back too. There's a Trevor Kale.
Show off your shirt. Show off your shirt. I want to see.
Let's go, Oakland.
Show Ben. He likes them anyways.
I know.
I don't think Ben made it this far in the video.
That's funny.
He probably gave up after we started talking about.
Ben.
He probably stopped watching after we started talking about the Phillies because he was probably disappointed that I wasn't yelling at the laptop.
Yeah, why didn't you?
Yeah, I was surprised. Why didn't you get more anger at me?
I was
Because
expecting a lot.
because it's not really surprising.
Your expectations are so low. It doesn't.
He's getting used to Amaro's idiocy.
Also, if I was at like some other place, like in the Newark, or sorry, our studios, then I would be yelling. But my parents would think that something weird is happening if I just start yelling right now.
But the people over there would think. I mean, the studio workers would think something weird's happening if you were yelling over there.
That's okay. They're
Whatever.
part of the studio, so they know this is expected.
Yeah.
Yeah, our studio's been shut down for another 2 months. There's like some improvements going on there.
Yeah, right.
It's gonna be great.
All right.
Okay. I think I just posted a fantasy football article.
Sweet.
You think you posted a football article?
I did.
You're
It's
not
been a long day. Other than that, I'm thinking I have like a couple of basketball ideas. I'll run it by the other guys first, though. I don't know. It probably is overdone by now.
Okay. And Chengiz, what are you gonna write about? Kobe Bryant?
I'm gonna write about Kobe Bryant.
I don't know.
Lakers are done for like the next 2 years.
Yeah. So just write an article to make Shahab more angry.
I'll just write one sentence. The Lakers are done the next 2 years.
That's pretty awesome for the Golden State Warriors, though.
I guess.
Yeah.
I wanted Kevin Love, though. I wanted Kevin Love.
Yeah.
If
There you
next
go.
year,
I'll write, if the Cavs get Kevin Love, I'll write an article about that.
Okay. As of now, apparently Cleveland's the only team that is in serious talks
I
with.
think it's pretty much done.
Well,
They're just
yeah,
waiting for Wiggins to be able to be traded.
yeah.
nice. Hopefully the A's and the Warriors win the respective championships and make Oakland proud, because they really don't have much to be proud about. Other than
Yeah, and the Warriors are leaving soon, anyways.
That's true.
Yeah.
Where are they going?
SF.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's good. I thought they were going to like LA or something.
Oh no.
Yeah. Okay.
That might be the Raiders, though.
Yeah, that's good, because then the A's can like restructure the Coliseum and make it nice again. With the nice view in the back and stuff.
Was it ever nice in the first place?
Yeah, remember that picture? I think we should post that picture on SportsKop.
Okay.
Yeah, it was.
Throwback
It was a pretty
Thursday.
nice view. Like the background was pretty nice, and
Throwback
then
Thursday, when the A's had a view.
yeah, that's why they won championships. Now they don't have a view. So what can you do? I'm really interested to see how Lester responds to the A's situation. Like he goes to his clubhouse, he's like, "Man, this is so terrible compared to the Red Sox." We're still
Red Sox is not that great either, though.
Really?
Because Fenway's so old that their situations over there is not that.
Their stadium is so iconic though compared to
It's
the
iconic,
Coliseum.
but I'm sure all the clubhouse stuff is small compared to what.
Should they revamp their clubhouse though? Do some remodeling.
I mean, it's not bad. Probably not as bad as the A's, but I'm pretty sure he's used to small clubhouses.
What was funny is Liverpool played a soccer game there last week, and the dugout, how obviously it's a dugout, so it's not like a bench out on the field. So when the players were subbing out, it was so weird to see that, because in soccer they're just on the field when they're coming out, and it's like everyone's coming out of the dugout and going in the dugout. It was just weird, but that was pretty cool to see both my team play in a baseball stadium in New York and Boston. That was pretty awesome.
Ben was there, right?
Ben was there to see an Arsenal game.
That's cool.
Yeah. Ben, I hate you for that. I wish I was there in New York too.
He's not. He hasn't got to this part of the video.
Yeah. You should just make a lot of hate comments.
All right, guys. I think it's time to end this.
Yeah, I think it's beyond.
What was a successful first podcast?
Yeah, sorry for the awkward movements, but we're, becoming better at this. Hopefully we have our makeup artists next time, make us look, well, we are good looking, but, make us a little bit better looking. and move on forward with that, because we need to kind of, set this up nicer. Hopefully our studios are better in 2 months, in the sense that we have...
No, come on. Your setup's pretty cool. You have all the A's posters.
Not cool. It's like a
A's posters. Bryce Harper. I see Bryce Harper.
Yeah, Bryce Harper's over there. And then there's a Trevor Kale poster right there. And then there's a poster of Cliff Pennington throwing a ball.
But I can't see the players, so I just see A's. I don't see players specific that aren't there anymore.
That's good.
It's a pretty nice setup.
Thank you. Thank you. I like your little brick wall setup in the back too. Very nice.
Okay, thank you. It's not brick, but thank you.
All right, let's
All
wrap
right.
this up, guys.
All right.
All right, see you guys.
See you guys.
Later.
Bye.